People versus Patriarchy is a film that documents a confrontational dialogue between young people from different walks of life and backgrounds, all expressing their views on why men still hold so much power in this day and age. While the documentary also goes into explaining what patriarchy is and how the society has accepted the practice. Through the hashtag that blasted on social media networks, hashtag Men Are Trash, producer Jasmyn Asvat interrogates men's role in sustaining a system. We also chatted to her as well as the Vice President at Viacom International Media Networks Africa, Monde Twala, on their involvement in the documentary. We say good morning and welcome to Morning Lab.
Thank you very much for having us.
Jasmyn, I'm very interested in finding out whether we all have the same sort of definition of what patriarchy is. I watched the documentary and I saw the involvement of different voices, people from different walks of life, different backgrounds. Do you find that they all have the same understanding?
I think when it comes to patriarchy in general, we all understand that it's an oppressive system towards women. However, that is a lived experience for different women in different spaces in their life. So, you know, it varies from if you're sitting in a boardroom to if you're walking down a street to how you're raised in a family. So everyone's lived experiences are different.
And it's almost that thing that you can't always see sometimes, but you certainly feel it.
Absolutely. Yeah, the nuances are there, and they sometimes it's so ingrained in our absolute existence that even we as women forget that we are a part of the system that oppresses.
Now, Monde, the idea came from the hashtag Men Are Trash. It was sparked by that idea. Why was it so important to get involved in the documentation of it and visually showing us the voices of the people that we don't always see? Because, you know, social media is different. We all sit behind a phone and we tweet men are this or men are that. Why was it so important for us to have that visual representation?
I think, as Viacom and MTV, you know, we work with youth, we work with youth culture, we in the content space, and obviously continue to try and find a voice for young people in terms of making sure that we can produce and produce content that can resonate with young people. If you look at over the last year, I mean, over years and years and decades, in fact, I mean, patriarchy has been a culture that's perpetuating in our society, and I think for us it was quite important looking at recent events, look at the Men Are Trash, the See Her campaigns that we've seen. We've seen young women taking to the streets to protest, and really, it is an initiative that is really inspired by what young people want young people are saying, and it was important for us as MTV to then be there and take the dialogue even further beyond just closed quarters or intellectual debates. We wanted to make it as broad as possible so that the men in the street and the boy child particularly, we can shift that mindset.
I love what Monde has just said, because from what I saw, it's been an inclusion of youth culture and those figures that ordinary young people look up to. Their voices have also been added. There's a panel. We hear what they think, what their lived experiences are. The likes of Nakane Tore. Who else is in the series?
Well, we have amazing voices. We've got Zara Julius, we've got Koketsa Moeti, we have Desire Maria from the Faka, we have Glo Makatsi, Al Vandenberg. What is great is that we also touch on and include people from the non-binary gender, so trans people, LGBTIQA people. So we include everyone in it because it's a discussion that everyone firstly experiences it, and everyone needs to have the discussion around it.
All right, well, you guys have certainly caught all of our attention. I think the show was trending for 3 days straight on Twitter. You've managed to get us to watch People versus Patriarchy. You've managed to get us to sit and pay attention and have the conversation amongst ourselves. Where to from here?
I think it's quite important. I mean, you know, last year MTV produced the first sort of film, which was The People versus Rainbow Nation. Also really inspired by youth activism that we're seeing. And I think it's important to note that that particular documentary became literature in some of the universities. So what we're trying to do with this particular one is really spread it as far as possible. We want to take it to schools. We're already working with Gauteng government to also partner with them in terms of making sure that we can continue the dialogue just off screen, make sure that it can live off screen and it can be part of everyday literature that young students and young people can engage with. It will live online, of course it will live online, it will live across all our platforms, so be it BET, MTV Base, we've got a whole rollout we've partnering with State Theatre in February. Who have come on board. In fact, right after the screening, they've, we received a call to say, listen, they really want to take it further. So we want to make the conversation not only a South African conversation, but an African conversation. So it's across all our platform, all the Viacom platforms across the continent, and also to make sure that it is a global conversation. You know, and fortunately, we've got access to digital media these days, which make which make it very
accessibility even easier.
Absolutely.
All right, fantastic. Monde, Jasmyn, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
I wish we had more time to talk about this, phenomenon that has really gripped our society, and we need to keep talking about it. That was Jasmyn Asvat and the Vice President at Viacom International Media Networks Africa, Monde Twala, talking to us about The People versus Patriarchy, a film that documents a dialogue that challenges the role of why men still hold so much power.